Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. It's Stephen from Irish React. Obviously with the madness of what's going on in the world at the minute, unfortunately Dan and I haven't been able to meet up and record these videos as normal. You probably noticed on the channel Dan has uploaded his own sort of individual reaction videos. If you haven't checked them out, I'd recommend going on and giving them a few. For the next wee while, what we're planning to do is to upload separately. It's the only thing we can do. I'm going to create a couple of videos, Dan's going to create a couple of videos, and we're going to put them on the channel. Yeah, it's pretty much all we can do at this stage. Before I get started on this particular video, I just wanted to mention the fact that the channel has now crossed 1,000 subscribers. For Dan and I, this is obviously a massive milestone. I know for a lot of YouTube channels it's still quite a small feat, but for us it's huge. We didn't expect to get this many subscribers this early on. We just didn't expect the channel to grow as rapidly as it has. So we really appreciate anyone that has subscribed so far. Okay, so kicking this off today, obviously the crazy situation in the world at the minute. Many people, not everyone, but many people, including myself, have a lot more free time on our hands. So what I've done in the last wee while is I'm focusing on trying to build up this channel, trying to create some content. But with my free time, I've been watching a lot of shows and TV shows and movies on Netflix. I thought I'd compile a list together of some of the favourite things that I've watched so far. Shows that I'd recommend you checking out if you haven't seen. A couple of these shows are going to be really obvious and shows that you've heard of, because a lot of the stuff that I've watched are things that everyone's talking about. I just wanted to list them and give my opinion on them. There's maybe a couple in there in my list that you haven't seen that I'd recommend checking out if you have the free time. So starting off with number 5. Again, just before I start this list isn't in any particular order. These aren't my favourite things on Netflix. This isn't the best things on Netflix to watch. These are just a couple of shows and movies that I've watched recently. I'll go from number 5 to 1, but again, I'm not ranking these. It's just a way for me to list them. Number 5 is 3 Identical Strangers. I watched this the other night. I think it's been on Netflix for a wee while. I think it came out in 2018, but it gripped me straight away. It's a documentary about 3 twins or triplets who don't meet each other until 2 of them attend university or college in America. The story turns out, I'm not going to spoil it, but these 3 triplets were adopted separately from an agency, and the story unravels from there. They don't meet each other till they're around 20 years old. As the story progresses, we find out there's other triplets and other twins that we don't meet each other, and it is part of a science experiment as to why this doesn't happen. It does get a bit dark and a bit twisted, but it was very enjoyable for me to watch. It's about an hour and a half long, so it doesn't take up too much time for you to watch. If you haven't seen it, I'd recommend checking it out. Number 4 is a new show that's just came on Netflix. It's called Unorthodox. I watched this. It's a 4-part 4-part TV show that I've watched over the last week, and it hooked me from the get-go. It's basically about an ultra-Orthodox Jewish family. A lady was, I think it was a arranged marriage that she married into in New York, and she fled to Berlin after the first couple of months of her marriage to restart her life. So it takes a show about a girl who comes up in this unorthodox Jewish family that isn't really used to sort of Western living values and what we sort of see as freedom and normal day life, and it just explores her experiencing these things for the first time. I'll not go into too much detail or give it away, but it was quite a good show. It's only a 4-part TV show, so it's only an hour long. If you've got the time, I'd recommend checking that out. On to number 3. This is a movie that is on Netflix at the moment that I really enjoyed. It was something that I was reluctant to watch. It's called The Platform. Now, I believe it's a Spanish film. So there's an option that you could watch it in Spanish and have the subtitles on. I watched it dubbed. It's something that I definitely have to get over. I really struggle with subtitles. I don't know what it is. I think especially whenever I'm in the house watching something, I find it very hard to concentrate, not go on my phone and just focus on reading the subtitles. So I dubbed the movie. There's an option on Netflix to have them speak in English. The movie is basically about this vertical platform that they live on. There's well over 200 levels to the platform. It's like a cell. There's 2 people in each cell block, and food comes down from the platform. The people at the top have their pick of the food. You only have a couple of minutes to eat, and that platform of food goes down every single level. It's a really strange concept, and when I watched it on the face of it, I was thinking, what is this movie about? Why do they have these people locked in this platform eating food? And then the more the story went on, I realised it's just a massive metaphor to society. I'm not going to give too much away. I might do a separate review on the film, but if you haven't checked it out, I would recommend it. It's quite a difficult watch at times, but it's definitely an excellent Netflix film. Number 2, now this is something that a lot of people are already aware of. The reason why it's on my list is because I rewatched this season while I'm during sort of getting my way through quarantine. It's called Afterlife by Ricky Gervais. It's on the list because the second season is due to drop at the end of April. So if you haven't checked out the first season, I'd recommend getting through that there. There's only, I think there's around 6 episodes and only about 30 minutes long. Ricky Gervais is probably my favourite comedian. I watch everything he does. I love Office, I love Extras. They're some of my favourite shows of all time. When I heard he was doing Afterlife, spicy straight onto Netflix, I was all over it when it came out. As I say, I've rewatched it in the last few days, and it's still just as funny. It's a really dark show. It's basically about a guy whose wife passes away and he wants to kill himself. And it explores this guy getting on with his everyday life, going through this trauma. But in typical Ricky Gervais fashion, it is still, parts of it are quite lighthearted and funny, but the overall message is excellent. I would recommend checking out Afterlife if you haven't seen it. Now down to number 1. Number 1 is something that every person is talking about. It's all over social media. It's not something that I'm bringing up to you that you'll not have heard of. It's Tiger King. Tiger King is an absolute blast. If you haven't watched Tiger King, I'd recommend getting on that. It is hilarious from start to finish. I know the show itself isn't designed to be particularly funny throughout. I just couldn't stop laughing at it. And I do get there's parts of the show that is really serious and dark and twisted, and that's what makes it interesting. When I first started watching it, I didn't know where this was going. I didn't know what they were trying to do here. But the more you get on and go through the episodes and you learn about Joe Exotic and how crazy this person was, I was gripped from start to finish. If you haven't checked out Tiger King, I'd recommend something to watch while he's got a bit of time, while he's have a bit of downtime. So that's my list. These are just a couple of shows and movies that I've watched over the last sort of 3 to 4 weeks that we've been in this horrendous situation where we're not really leaving the house. So I'll go out again. Number 5 is 3 Identical Strangers. Number 4 is Unorthodox. Number 3 is The Platform. Number 2 is Afterlife. And number 1 is Tiger King. Alright folks, thanks very much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and check out the content that I've recommended. Boom, peace out.
Guys, please like and subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Comment?
Like, comment, subscribe. Yeah. And there's a wee notification button.
Yeah, press it. Of course, bye.
You are now listening